We knew there was a war on. By that time, what was left of us was herded into the cattle trains and shipped to Siberia. It was literally a matter of hours, if not minutes, until our turn. And we were already sitting at the railroad station. This was September 1941, when the German army overran the Ukraine and stopped the exiling, stopped the trains. They stopped the trains. And it was to us as if the Lord had sent us the angels. Here were people who stopped the terror that had been upon us for 25 years, who came and opened the churches for us and said, you can have all the services you want. It was like heaven. My mother, to the day she died, never stopped talking about the wonderful 2 years that she had when the German army came. They took over the houses. We gave them gladly. It was magnificent. And we were absolutely convinced that the Germans had come to save us from communism. And never was there any reason for us to change our minds. Why should we? The Germans were heroes in our eyes. We absolutely believed in Adolf Hitler. We believed in the nature of his struggle, in the merits of his struggle. We had these magnificent German soldiers protecting us, so the beginning was not at all unpleasant. But then it became grim. Then the winter came.
In the dark days of autumn 1941, the summer's defeats have decimated the Red Army, and Hitler's artillery can strike Moscow itself. The Soviet Union seems on the brink of total defeat. But Stalin has his back to the wall, and he will stop at nothing to protect his power base. Hitler and the Allies expect the fall of Moscow at any moment. In the capital, an agitated Stalin entrusts the defense to General Zhukov. And it is his suggestion at the end of November of a counterattack against the German pincers that triggers hurried planning for a massive Soviet counteroffensive. It is a plan made possible by the seemingly limitless depth of Red Army reserves. His agent in Tokyo, Richard Zorga, has sent word that Japan will not, as feared, attack the USSR from Manchuria. And for once, crucially, Stalin trusts the advice of a minion. He authorizes the transfer west of more than half the Soviet strength in the Far East. 17 fresh divisions, trained regulars with full armored and artillery support, that will form the heart of the counterattack. The first days of December are an agony of anticipation, but on the 5th, Zhukov unleashes his armies. Within 48 hours, the Soviet thrusts are fully underway. Hitler's furious order to hold advanced positions is meaningless. The Red Army's new T-34 tanks are rugged, powerful fighting machines designed to perform unfailingly in the bitter cold of deepest winter. And swarms of specialist ski troops are too fast for the ill-clad Wehrmacht. German troops can only fall back in astonished disarray as Army Group Center, the juggernaut that was to crush Moscow, is smashed apart. After 6 months of catastrophic defeats, the Red Army's hard-fought victory is undeniable. And as the year closes, Soviet towns and villages west of the capital are being freed from their brief Nazi occupation. There will be more sweeping Soviet victories, but none will burn more brightly than this first astounding recovery from the brink of defeat. Convinced now that Germany is on the brink of collapse, Stalin demands attack after attack. Every remaining reserve is thrown into the fray as he seeks to drive the invader from Soviet territory. But it is impossible. Their superhuman effort has taken its toll, and the armies are exhausted. Dissipated by Stalin's overreaching ambition, the offensives make only trivial gains, and at a dreadful cost. And by the time its attacks peter out in February, the Red Army has lost almost 1 million troops in the battle for Moscow. That grim statistic will be hidden from the Soviet people for half a century. The majority of Wehrmacht units may have escaped encirclement, but they could not save their equipment. Now it lies abandoned everywhere, a gigantic German scrapyard. It is a fitting sight to show British Foreign Minister Eden when he arrives to survey the battlefields. for neither Britain nor Stalin's new ally, the United States, believed that Moscow could survive the German onslaught. But if the Western Allies are amazed, this one victory has revealed to Stalin a mirage of complete triumph, and he is totally committed to further attack. But he has miscalculated. The Wehrmacht is not yet beaten, and a furious Hitler is planning massive new offensives. His folly will again compel the Red Army to fight in desperate defense. And so, the Soviet people must struggle on. It will be a long, painful journey, and many will not survive to its conclusion.